Hello, good people of the internet. Thank you for once again tuning your receivers to the Blender Robot Manufactory. What I've been working on lately, and I'll show you in game in a minute, is our good friend, the decelerator. Let me think. So the changes I've been making on this, I should really start up Unity so I can show you properly. But before, the decelerator had two buttons. One goes between the center of the station and the spin section, and the other one goes between the two docks in the spin section. But I wanted the player to have more control over where the decelerator goes. So now you have a choice of buttons depending on where you are. So I implemented all of that, but now I'm thinking what I'd really like to do is remove one of these windows, so there's just a window on one side of it. And in place of that window, I'd like a big screen here. And what that's going to do is it's going to mostly tell you when travel to the center of the station is locked off. Yeah, still playing around with that idea. I mean, I could just have a screen, I don't know, right below the decelerator that's saying that as well. But I don't know, we'll figure it out in just a moment. Right after this important message from Automatons for a Better Tomorrow. Hey there, my name's Jory, and this is the Blender Robot Manufactory. I'm a 3D artist and game designer currently making a roguelike platformer in Unity 3D. On this live stream, I give a window into my process of creating models in Blender. We'll be learning the basic commands and techniques I use to create a range of designs for my video game, from furniture to robots to animated human characters. I'll also show how I create models for use in 3D printing. Since we'll be focusing on my personal workflow, this channel will not be a comprehensive course, and many features of Blender will never be covered. However, this channel is meant to be a great jumping off point if you've never used Blender before. We'll also be covering topics that are interesting at any skill level, like what makes a good design, how to generate ideas for unique creations, and how to compose shapes in three-dimensional space to create models that look great from any angle. So whether you've never made a 3D model and would love to learn, you've been doing it for years, or you just want to hang out, relax, and enjoy my process, please tune into the Blender Robot Manufactory on Twitch TV. City! How's it going? So the first thing I think is I'd like to take a look at what I've already been doing with the decelerator. It looks like the scaling's all weird right now here. For some reason scale 100 is doing something odd. But yeah, that's not right at all. I don't know what's going on with my screen aspect ratio. Okay, now that seems better. Let's actually start up the game again. Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out is, do I want the screen actually inside of the decelerator, or would I prefer it if the screen were underneath the decelerator in this room beneath it? And of course, I'd have a similar screen in all of the different decelerator stations. Yeah, so basically I need some way to communicate to the player that, how's it going, Ben Gather? Not well, it sounds like. Yeah, so I need some way to communicate to the player that access to the center of the station is currently locked off. So you can see I added some buttons, or it's a different button style from how it was before. And I still don't know if this is 100% what I'm going to wind up doing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bang Gather. So it's just been really stressful lately. Yeah, so these buttons don't quite look right yet. But you can see I push one of them, and then it's going to move over to the B dock. And, you know, after it goes over there, it's going to change what this button's saying. So then it's going to say this button goes to the A dock. Oh man, that does sound stressful. So you're kind of doing both of your jobs right now. Yeah, so it's about to do it now. Then this opens, and now this button. And it doesn't work for some reason. But, I don't know, I had it working the other day where, this is something I was just coding yesterday. What it's supposed to do is change this to the A graphic. Let's see, switch player. Oh, now we're traveling again. Oh man, this got some problems. Well, at any rate, the deal with this screen is I need some way to communicate to the player that access to the center of the station is locked off. And mostly just trying to decide if I'm going to do this in this room that's right below the decelerator or in the decelerator itself. So let's go up here and have another look. Let's try going to the center of the station and see if my buttons work. Since we're working perfectly when I closed it out yesterday. Yeah, that sounds really stressful. So right now, just waiting for this thing to transition to the center of the station. So now it's lining up with the center, going up there. Camera seems to be knocking around a little more than usual. No, maybe it was just a non-minimized thing. Okay, now we're going here. Let's see if the buttons change. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's what's supposed to be doing, where the graphics on the buttons change depending on which docks are available to you. Oh man, that's terrible, Bane. Okay, now it's going back, and let's see if the buttons change again when I get to this dock. Gonna need to spend some time debugging this new code tomorrow. And like I said, these button designs aren't final, but I don't know, I was just trying to get something working where you can specify which of these 3 docks you're going to at any given time. So now this opens, and okay, now it changed. So yeah, like I suppose I'd put the screen right here, maybe that says decelerator access is locked off. But I think it would probably communicate better with the player what's going on if this were smack in the middle here. And since this stock C button I'm putting on the left side mostly, it would probably make sense to stick this screen on the left side of the decelerator. Oh, and another thing I want to do while I'm at it is, like, I think I'm lowballing the polygon budget of this game kinda heavily. So, you can see, like, you can see the, individual edges on the circles of these windows. And I think I'd like to fix that while I'm at it. Like, the circles for the buttons and for these, you can't really see the edges on them. But there's just a few places in this design where the low poly nature of the models is showing through a little much. I see. So if he decides the color balance isn't good, I'm guessing he adjusts the colors digitally. So something else I'm gonna be working on soon. Well, for one thing, you can see there's a little flickering on the back wall, but only for this one theme that's right next to this decelerator. I've got a feeling that's because I have some light sources behind the wall which doesn't show up well. But I'd also like to change the colors of these back walls based on which one of these decelerator docks it is. So you see here that the elevator has this cool sign design where like you press a button, sign rotates, what's on here changes. I'm thinking it might be fun and consistent to kind of duplicate what that's doing for the decelerator. Like, let's go back up there and have a look at what that would look like. Oh man, that sounds like such a pain. So go back here and so yeah, and it could be like a different aspect ratio version of this, like maybe a square screen or something would be fun here, but just something that's kind of a similar design to that. Or it could even have I could even have two of them on top of each other. So like going back here, you've got two different rotators like this, and they both go into the wall and then, you know, change what the text is on them. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do today on the decelerator, is putting a sign in the same style as the elevator in place of where this window is right now. Man, that sounds like a lot of work, Bane. So, going back to Blender, and another thing is this is divided into more objects than it really needs to be at the moment, because I was working with materials in a different way when I made this thing. So let's look at the different parts. So, oh yeah, I remember this. So it looks like I never wound up putting it in, but there's still time. I actually have a front piece to the decelerator. So let's just go back to where the player is. Yeah, so that would be kind of fun if I put this back in at some point, where you see this front piece on, whoa, this front piece on the decelerator before you go into it. I see, so there's kind of a pride thing involved too. Yeah, also apologies for fiddling around so much before getting started today. Just kind of thinking this thing through, and I don't know, I've had the decelerator in game for a long time, so it's weird thinking about making changes to it. And I just want to really think this thing through and make sure that I'm happy with what I'm doing to it. How are you doing today, FLML? So let's just leave the player here. We should actually be able to leave Unity open and keep going back to see what the changes are, what the changes look like in game. So are these using the same material? They're actually not. So, okay, it does turn out I need to continue having those as separate objects. Oh, cool. Why are you rigging up? All right, so the first order of business is, before I start messing with taking out this window, I'd really like to increase the level of detail on this circle. It's going to be a little tricky. So, I wonder if I can just subdivide this without making a separate object or anything. Okay, that could work. Probably not the most efficient way to do it, but... Mesh face. Yeah, that could work. Oh, awesome. So, what are you using to make the character rig? All right, and this probably won't work because I really need this edge to be changed as well. No, that's good. You can keep venting, Bane. So now, let's Let's try subdivide here. Might be easier just to make a different circle on this and insert it in here. I think I'll actually shrink these a little. That's not at all what I wanted. And just shrinking these a bit, trying to get looking circle-like. Wonder if I should actually have one more level of subdivision here. That's looking better anyway. No, you know what? I'm just going to insert a brand new circle in here. Just keep undoing what I'm doing here. And maybe just open up the decelerator again. Oh, I see. So is that the Unity IK system, FLML? Oh, so you said the animations are partly driven in Unity. I was just curious what the Unity side of it was doing. Okay, where are my options for how... yeah, actually, that's a good number of verts. Okay, so I'm just going to replace this circle. What material is this anyway? Okay, it's the middle yellow for these. And what I'm really hoping with all this is that I don't wind up needing to set up my animations and everything again. And this isn't level, is it? Oh wow, I tilted that. Do I need to tilt it this time? I don't think so. Man, yeah, I made this thing so long ago. I'd probably do a few things differently. I don't know, it'll probably fit into the wall better if I do tilt it. Oh, awesome. Oh, I get you. So the script's rotating the bones. Okay, so I guess I'll just duplicate what I did before here. Tilt this thing, try to line it up as much as I can with where the window was before. And stretch out the edge of the window. And now I can delete this part and try to get this inserted again. And also go ahead and get this put on the color palette. It'd probably help if I also turned it on so that, yeah, that's a lot prettier. And let's see what we can do with getting all this connected up again. So maybe I can bridge edge loops, and then wondering if I can just dissolve this part. That probably won't work. Yeah, that is not what I want. Okay, I'm just merging these. Yeah, the place where I wind up using the most faces is on circles. Okay, and it is a little weird how that's all stretched out. You know, with cubes and more rectilinear things, you can get away with having these really big flat faces. But on circles, you really notice if there's too few faces in there. Okay, so let's, ooh. Okay, it still looks a little strange. That might be a result of just how I made this thing. Like, I don't think you can really tell that much inside of the game. But this wall is, it's just a little funky the way it's set up. That's just one of the things about yeah, tea is really good. Yeah, this is I don't know, pretty close to the start of development is when I made this model. Yeah, I've been drinking so much tea lately. The weather really changed this month. So it's just been super cold and miserable here lately. Okay, so then smooth these faces out. Okay, yeah, and like I said, the wall is still a little funky, but I don't think the player can really tell that much. Yeah, pretty much. I always dress in a lot of layers here, in case the weather changes while I'm out. Okay, yeah, so I mean, as you can see, that wall, okay, so this is what it looked like before. I think the wall was just kind of bulging out around the window and going in back into the wall. But yeah, let's just smooth this out and go into Unity, see what that looks like. I think it should update. Whoa. Okay, that's just because I was playing the game while that was happening. Tea is very good. Okay, yeah, so here's what it looks like in game. Just run around that with the player a little. You know, it's kind of like, so my mom's got this house that was, I don't know, really built on the cheap. And we always joke that's the house that Willy Wonka built. So, it's kind of the same deal with the decelerator, just made by the lowest bidder. So if you don't mind my asking, where did you live before Denver, Ben? So yeah, actually, the wonkiness of the back wall isn't too noticeable here, although, okay, yeah, the way it slants to the ladder is kind of disturbing, so I think I'll actually fix that while I'm at it. Oh, alright, so pretty much the Denver area. Yeah, I've lived like in surrounding cities, but I've never really been out of the Denver area. Okay, it'd be nice if I could get that as straight as possible. Oh man, what have I gotten myself into? And yeah, I think I'm just going to fix these back wall issues while I'm doing this. And not gonna lie, this scares me a lot because I really don't want to have to do more resetting up the decelerator than I have to. But this is a really important prop in the game. And I think it's a good idea to take the time to really fix it. So I'm just going to select everything on the back wall and just try to get it really flat. Yeah, I think the only cities I've actually lived in are Denver and Littleton. I don't know. I don't think any of the other places I've lived were in the surrounding area. Scale Y0. And zoom in on this. Yeah, that looks okay. And it should probably be right there. Okay, and what even is this thing we're intersecting? Like, what object is that even on? And can I delete it without repercussions? Maybe. It's giving this whole thing a spiffy new coat of paint. Sorry, Willy Wonka, your work isn't up to code. Okay, yeah, and I think that's actually gonna look better in game. Have fun, Bane. Alright, so I saved, and now it's probably going to look terrifying because this thing's animating while I'm working on it. Oh yeah, don't go in there. But with any luck, it'll look okay. And what I'm really worried about is might need to re-import the animations and set up this prefab all over. And I mean, it's not gonna take that long, but really hate having to do that with the model. Okay, so then maximizing, and yeah, that actually does look more professional. And just looking at the edge of this window, I think that poly amount is pretty good. You can see the glass hasn't been changed yet, so it's a little jagged. Let's see if this messes up when it animates. No, we're still good on animation. So, moving on. Alright, so I think I can just start ripping out this window since I'm going to put a screen here. I wound up sort of building this thing so that I could show it from the back, but that probably never happens in the game. So I can just fill in this hole. I mean, I don't really even need all these spaces back here since you never see there. Yeah, like it's a little wonky down here too. That is the thing about such a long project. You just wind up figuring out so many things along the way that that you need to change around some of your earlier work to fit what you're doing with the later stuff. Ooh. Then dissolve all this, and what? I'll just plug that up for now while I work on the other stuff. But yeah, that back wall is looking nice and straight. And now it would probably be nice if the outside of the window portion looked all right too. But like I said, I've pretty much decided that you never see it from the back side. So it might make as much sense just to extend this, scale it out a bit. And yeah, I can even delete this stuff. But I believe this one's using a different material. So I should probably still separate this, join it to this, and guessing I have that on dark green. There we go, so we can just see a little bit outside the window here. And now for the glass. Just have this on mirror modifier so I can eliminate that. And what material do I have that on in Unity? Okay, I've got it on my glass 2 material. So going back, easiest thing's probably just to duplicate this, move it down, fill it in. Whoa. Move this here, and okay, so this is the new one. I can join it to this object, eliminate that glass, move this back into place, and let's see what's looking like in Unity. Okay, yeah, so that's what I intended. So this new design is going to be a little less symmetrical than the old one. But I think it'll be pretty cool having a place to display some information in here. So there's some other areas where it would probably benefit from having being a little less low poly. I think this curve here, can't really see the faces in game. Here you can, but there's nothing wrong with the little angularity. It's mostly when it looks like you're attempting a circle and not getting there that it really sticks out. Okay, so again, like on the front here, it's a little weird, but I don't know, I don't really have a problem with the rest of how this looks at the moment. It was just this one window that was really sticking out to me. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I would like to, yeah, probably append the elevator and just repurpose what's doing with the screen a little bit. And not even sure what all I need, so let's just grab all of these. But really, I'm just interested in stealing the stuff related to the screen right here. Okay, so this part. And I can delete the rest of this again. Go up here. Of course, this is also a model I made pretty early on, so again, how's that Willy Wonka belt? Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Do you think that Willy Wonka is related to the doctor from Doctor Who? Why does this hallway get smaller the further you go? And I suppose a mirror modifier would probably be good for this. Like the sides of this, I can just eliminate these. Speaking of which, yeah, maybe they're all related. Speaking of which, we've been watching the new Doctor Who lately. I've been enjoying it, but I don't know, it doesn't quite feel like the stories have gotten there for me yet. I guess there's only been 2 episodes so far. I don't know, I like the new Doctor, I like the companions, but the writings just felt a little hyperactive, and I don't know, not very focused, not very original. But I don't know. I'm still holding out hope for it getting better. Of course, that's the reason that that we haven't been watching a lot of Doctor Who up to this point. Was I think we watched through the Amelia Pond arc, and maybe the companion after her, but I don't know, there were just some really well-written episodes during the Amelia Pond arc, and I'm really hoping to see more of that, but haven't for a while. Okay, yeah, you can now gather up your torches and pitchforks and run me off the internet. If I didn't offend you by criticizing Star Wars a few weeks ago, I've definitely offended the remaining portion of the internet now. Oh yeah, this could even be as large as, oh, what am I saying? This could be the same size screen as these screens which are in the elevator. Delete this, and this armature is kind of getting in the way, so I'll move that to a different layer for a moment. Wonder how Blender 2.8 is coming along. I was keeping up with it for a while, but I really don't know how close they are to actually releasing the thing. Okay, how do we turn off the grid floor? Or whatever this is, the directional widget. Is it in display? Yeah, that's how old this model is. I don't have anything set up the way that I've been setting it up for years. So if I have two of these screens, I'm thinking the idea is that I can have like a double big message on here. Though I don't really know if I need a double big message. So I guess I should think about what this would actually say. Probably just access to station center, blocked off or something. Station center under lockdown. And then when you do open it up, I guess this could also display a message like it says access to the center is unavailable when this station's spinning down, which I've also been busy adding. And it says like yeah, I don't know. I think the two screen is cool anyway. I really have the text so large, there's just a few words per screen anyway. Okay, so are these touching the end? Yeah, that should work. So then I'm joining these together. Let's bridge that all up. Actually looks okay. Smooth shade it. And is all that flat enough? Yes, it is. So then I suppose I'm going to need some animations for this. Or, I don't know, maybe I can just rotate these screens in code. No, but let's do an animation, and I guess I'll mask that off from the other animations playing on the decelerator, or maybe these could just be their own object. Just thinking about this. Go up here, save, watch Unity freak out, and let's look at the decelerator animator. Okay, it's looking a little weird. I don't honestly know what's going on in there. Where is your animator? So do I have masks on this thing? Yep, so the doors are already masked off. So yeah, I probably would just mask off the screen animations as well. But why do you look so weird? Oh, thank you so much for the cheer, Mal. How are you doing? Also, happy lurking. Turn on the party lights. So... just seeing what's going on over here. Like, that back portion just, it seems totally messed up. I'll see you soon, Mel. Like, why does that model look so weird? Is it because these aren't rigged up to any bones? Maybe. Do I have a root bone now? Move all this back and try to decipher what's going on with this. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, maybe if I rig these up it'll look okay. Let's go over here, open this up, and let's just stick all this onto the root. Did I call that center? Yes, I did. Assign. And let's see if Unity is recognizing this any better now. No, just a big hole in the wall. Well, thank you, Unity. You know, that's what I always wanted, was a big hole in the wall. It really is possible I'll need to rig all this up again in Unity. shouldn't worry too much about not having to add it again to the game, because it's not that much trouble assigning the materials and animator and everything. So let's just look at it fresh. It's blindingly shiny, but what kind of things do I have set up on here anyway? I remember I also had some kind of shadow material, shadow object here for blocking off some of the shadows. I don't know if that's still here. At any rate, the matte is on palette glass 2. Primary is on palette standard. All right, so matte color goes onto palette. Primary is this. I'm sure this all sounds like nonsense. Oh wow, I got a lot of palette materials in here. Come on, palette. There we go. So this goes to primary. Still very shiny. Maybe I was using a darker palette for that. Like, what's this? Is that really just palette? Okay, yeah, so I had a darker material on that. That's the one. And I had lights in the other one, which is probably the rest of why it looks weird. Then where is the window? I don't know, maybe blue glass would be fun. Okay, and let's assign some stuff to the screens, whatever these are called. Still looks pretty weird. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I should wait to actually rig this back up until I'm finished with it. What other materials? This one just seems so much more colorful. And I'm pretty sure why the wheels are separated is I'm rotating those in script. So yeah, this is what it looks like aside from some lamps inside. So, no, maybe I don't even like that smooth shading on the back wall. Pretty much, City. No, you know, it's a nice contrast. So now I'm going to need to pretty much duplicate what I had with the screen rotating animation for the elevator. Before I do that, just have another look at this and decide if it looks all right. So it's going to say some... Oh yeah, and another thing, I might need to set this up at the right position, because I've got some buttons here and I need to make sure that those are in the right place. Okay, so this is at... Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that, City. So let's just position this correctly, where the other one is. And turn off the other one for a minute. Alright, so there actually is a conflict with where these buttons are and where I've positioned the screens. Although it's not terrible. And just center these again, something like that. Yeah, a little bit, Corpus. So I'm working on the decelerator right now. I just put in these screens. And what I'm hoping to do is get it set up in the game so that it's doing everything it was before, only now we've got these screens here that can display information about the decelerator. What have you been up to? So let's see if that totally 100% breaks at moving that. Come on, Yeti, update yourself. doesn't look bad. I'm just going to run around that with the player a little bit to get a sense of how it feels in game. So then move the player up here. Oh, cool. So what have you been adding to that corpus? Yeah, so let's turn on shadows. You can see it's not animating right now, but that will be fixed. Oh yeah, that looks nice with the shadows. Yeah, I think this is going to be a positive change. Can't see much outside that window. I probably want to make it something that's a little less opaque. Oh, I see. So I'm guessing that's to, oh, what am I saying? I'm guessing that's because frame rate's really important for avoiding nausea. Pattern on this screen texture is a little weird when I move in and out. I wonder if the, is there a little Z fighting there, or is it just the close together bars? There may be some Z fighting. Let's have a look at what's going on inside there. Okay, no, it should be good. I don't know why I felt the need to put another face in there, though. Like, this has no reason to be here. Man, sounds like a lot of work. Can't wait to see what it's looking like. Makes me really nostalgic seeing the old Duke Nukem maps. Alright, so that's all twisted up, but it should be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so we need to mess around with this glass material. That's windows. Where am I hiding that glass material? I was calling it glass 2. Yeah, I've tried adding very simple stuff to shaders and it didn't go well. Where even is that glass material I was using? Like, what does the other one use for windows? saying that's glass too. Oh, it is the MK Toon shader. Let's try this again. Maybe blue just isn't the right color for that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I tried to edit the this toon shader I have so that I could have a gloss map in it. What is corpus callosum? No, that's worse. How did I get that glass set up? I mean, specifically, how did I set it up without adding a brand new material to this? Which I could. I mean, that's good enough for now. It's all shiny. Oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about. So then, man, it makes me so nervous trying to mess with this thing when I already have so much set up around it. So let's look at my elevator script and figure out how this is animating. I think I used to have 2 screens on this, and I moved to a 1-screen setup. That's funny. Okay, so this one is 25 frames. Spends 10 frames spinning back, 5 frames back, and 10 frames going forwards again. Twenty-five frames, goes down and back for 10. Waits for 5, rotates up and forward for 10. Back to the decelerator, and let's give this some bones.
It ain't no sin to take off your skin and dance around in your bones.
Create armature. Let's try to move that to the very center. Which is difficult because there's no center vertex here. Oh, the clip is from Tom Waits from the album Black Rider. Yeah, come to think of it, I think I remember you telling me, City, about those about patients who have had the corpus callosum cut. It's really weird. All right, so now I can rig these up right after I rename them. And you know, I really just want to separate these and make this its own object. I think I will. Okay, so saving this. Come on, update Unity. Now, do I have a screen material? Screen object, if I just destroy it? I don't think so. Good question, Corpus. What channel was it? So now I'm going to save this as a separate thing. This is decelerator screens. Should make it a lot simpler to rig this up. And I'll just move always to the center. Much in the center as possible anyway. And then should add these in. Where did I put these? foundation blocks, decelerator. And just move these into place. Yeah, it's going to be so much better having these as their own object. And then I suppose they could use some materials. Now the other question is, do I want these to be able to display different things? Probably. So I'll leave those as separate screens, even though probably most of the messages they're going to display are going to relate to each other. I'm guessing I'll regret it if I don't allow these to display different things though. The rotators, on the other hand, can be one object. And how do you like that, Unity? You gonna break on me? Yeah, those do look a bit funky. Yeah, I double dog dare you to break on me, Unity. Okay, the UVs look all funky. Which they shouldn't. Maybe it's just smooth shading. Oh yeah, that's another funky thing right here. Oh, no wonder that looks a little weird. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, I really like this song too. So, yeah, no, I just need to make that animation for it. And also rig all this back up so that it's still works the way the old decelerator worked. Okay, first thing is I'd like some armature modifiers on these, which apparently they have. No, it's cool. He can stay there. Okay, this is display low. Display top. I always like naming things low, mid, and top because they're all 3-letter words. Okay, and then I would like you to go to display top. Also like you to do display top. Okay, just cut and paste this. Low. Sign, and one more. So that's all good. Then I just need one animation for this. And that's not quite centered. It's not too bad though, but let's see if we can see it from the front. Not so much. How's the alignment on this one? Okay, I'm going to cheat a little to get these lines up. So subdivide here, subdivide here. Just using that vertex for aligning these. Okay, now it's perfect. Yeah, so, is that for, like, getting variables lined up inside of your code? This is pretty kludgy. But I'm just making some vertices here so that I can snap this bone into place. Dissolve this, dissolve this. Whoa, not like that. See if this one's lined up, looking good. All right, now I just need to make a single animation for this. Maybe I'll actually try to get this set up on stream so that the decelerator is working again. timeline. Just like the decelerator model being a little... All right, I got a bunch of animations I don't really need in here. Hey, does anyone watching know how I remove these old animations from the project? I figured it out one time, but now I've completely forgotten. Okay, so I said that this is a 25 frame animation. We'll just call this screen cycle. And I guess I'll just do rotation for this. Insert here, we're going 10 frames. Maybe we'll go in separate directions. Oh yeah, do you know how I delete these old animations from the project? I think there's just like a key combination I can use to oh, maybe it's I think I'm remembering. It's like shift click that X, that's the one. Okay, shift click the X, and then I think I reload the project and they're gone. Let's see if that works. All right, go back to screen cycle, and let's see if I just reload the project, if that'll work. Okay, they're gone. Oh, really? Yeah, it's been like a month or two since I checked out 2.8. Was going in every week or two for a while, but I don't know, I figured I'd just leave it be for a bit and let it get to the stable version. You mean because they've been developing so much for 2.8? Yeah, it really is totally different from 2.79. So I think it would be fun if these like both move towards the outside first. Insert here. We're going to wait 5 frames until 16. And then at frame, like, yeah, let's say 26, they'll come in from the center. Insert. Okay, I was afraid of that. Yeah, it really is. They're changing around a whole... Yeah, exactly, City. Who knows if that behavior is going to be more intuitive in 2.8. You see, that's what I've been wondering too, Corpus. I really need to look it up and see what's going on with 2.8. So let's say this goes to negative 180. Say negative 179. Oh, yeah. So, not really sure when I'm going to get into alpha for Creator Crate. Hoping it's not too long off, but I still need some bug fixes and a little more content before I can move to that stage. So right now the goal is to set this thing up so that like, even if everything isn't 100% in, I at least have something in the way of the first story path, so you can go from one area to the next and steal a ship, escape from the station and everything. Yeah, that's true, City. Okay, that's what I want this thing to do. And then insert again. Let's see if this works. Okay, that is not what I want, Blender. What am I doing? Yeah, so the goal before doing closed alpha is oh, let me think. I want the progression in. I'm thinking yes, City, and that's actually closer than it sounds, because what I have in mind for a single path in the game is just that like, you've got these areas locked off by needing to get items to go through them. And you do that in order, and eventually this allows you to steal a spaceship and get off of the station. And I probably want the areas to be a little more fleshed out before I close alpha. But, you know, there's a lot of things on that first story path that I can keep working on during alpha. I just want it set up so you can get to the end of it, even if there's some things that still need work along the way during that path. Why isn't this animating? They aim at where you are right now. um, which is actually a little too easy to dodge. So I'm thinking instead of having them aim where you're going to be, what I'd rather do is just give them kind of stormtrooper aiming. So they're aiming where you are, plus or minus a little random bit. And that way they'll sometimes be aiming at where you're going to be and sometimes not. Okay, so that's pretty good. I guess I'd like an idle for these as well. Okay, so that should be good for the blender stuff. So now maybe I can start actually fixing this thing again so that it's not totally broken. That'll be fun. Did I lose all the materials off these? Yep, sure did. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Or they could have the same aiming model, but some of them are a bit more competent at than other ones. Switching out my chair. Ah, that's better. Been trying this ergonomic chair that we just got, and I guess the idea is it's supposed to strengthen your back because you need to balance in it a little more. Right now it's making my back feel worse, but I guess it's more of a long-term gain thing. Yeah, switching to chair number 2. What's behind chair number 2? Man, it is cold in here. Okay, so what do I need to do to make this thing functional again? Nobody knows. Oh yeah, and one other thing with the decelerator. Let's just make sure that all of this is, oh, that's what I was afraid of. Is that your favorite word now, City? All right, so let's assign this piece to the center bone. Is that your favorite word of all time, City? Okay, where are the bones that need to be assigned to the center? These bones may be useless now. But I think that, let's see if we can get this animating. So what kinds of things do I need to reassign in this? I gotta tell it where the animator is. And that would be the decelerator model. Needs to tell it where the wheels are now. Well, you see, that's up to the player's corpus. I'm thinking that if the creator crate unlocks the ability to make copies of itself, and there might be a scenario where those copies are kind of out of control and they're trying to exterminate humanity. If the creator crate escapes and it hasn't made copies of itself, it's probably just going to hide out and try to survive on Earth. I also want this scenario where the creator crate escapes with one of the scientists to one of the moons of Jupiter. Beyond Jupiter, beyond the Kuiper Belt, I will meet you there. Okay, so the clamp animators are fine. All that looks okay. Let's see if it's animating. Of course, their Earth is a little different from our Earth, so their solar system might also be a bit different from ours. You know, I don't know if the moons of the gas giants are exactly the same as what we have. Okay, so it hasn't animated. At all. The wheels are rotating because that's not part of the armature. Yeah, I think so, City. Yeah, exactly, Corpus. Hey, Wormius, how are you doing? Though I do have a few other endings in mind, but yeah, I think those are those are probably going to be the first ones. Oh, there absolutely is, City. So then decelerator. Yeah, does everyone want to know what spoiler is? Like all 6 people watching right now? Or should I leave it a mystery? Why? Oh, I know why this doesn't work. Because you need an animation controller. Let's see if it works now. Cool, so spoiler is, now let's actually go there in game and I'll show you. Going to move the player to the spoilery area. Game Master, switch the player. There we go. I need some tools for moving around here as well. Okay, I've got the fan so I can actually move around in here. It's true. So this is the cow vat meat at the center of the space station. And it's just this giant room with all kinds of cow parts growing in it. And right over here is the head of the cow, one of the main characters in the game. Right now it just kind of sits there, but it's going to talk to you when you get here. So I'm thinking that helping the cow probably is involved in the exterminate humanity ending. Yeah, don't worry about it, Wormius. It'll be fine. So maybe there's some other ending where you unlock the ability to replicate yourself and you're not trying to exterminate humanity. But they've been growing this thing in the middle of the station, cutting pieces off of it, shipping the meat all over the solar system. So, yeah, the vat meat is pretty keen on killing all of the humans that it can. And that's probably where things go if you decide to help it and start doing the things that's asking you to do. Yeah, and the vat meat also isn't very mentally stable, so how it behaves might change depending on what point in the game you meet it. City, that's supposed to be subtext. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun setting all that up. So the player can't actually talk, but like which characters you decide to help and, you know, where you go, which levers you throw and stuff like that will determine what kind of ending you get to. Yeah, City, I'm supposed to be being super subtle with all the Minotaur stuff. Oh, absolutely. Also, how have you been doing, Wormius? How's development on your game going? All right, so this, oh man. Okay, I guess I need to parent those wheels to some bones or something. Oh, thank you, Wormius. And, yeah, I'm also thinking that, I don't know, the vat meat might also be aware of, the fact that the levels are getting generated over and over again and have some kind of abilities that The vat meat might have some kind of abilities that help you mess with the level generator. Yeah, I've been really curious about the process of designing multiplayer games in Unity. So there's something called UNet, right, that everyone uses for Unity multiplayer games. So then, this thing's in station parts. It's the old model, and where am... Like, I need to parent these wheels to the wheel arm too. Oh, I see. Nice. That must have taken some doing, Wormius. Cosmic cow. To what end, Corpus? So then do they start like, do they start running restaurants where humans eat burgers made out of humans served by fat meat people? I mean, if that's where the story's going, I am down for it. Surprise, it was Sweeney Todd all along. Well, that's pretty cool. I might have to add that in. So then wheel right goes here. Well, I'm thinking it's like, yes, so the cow's meat is vat meat. So vat meat people, I think, are humanoid people made out of chunks of vat-grown cow meat. And then they can run these restaurants and serve burgers made out of non-vat grown human meat, and the whole thing just comes full circle. Well, no, it's a little disturbing how willing I am to shoehorn cannibalism into this thing. Okay, so does it animate? The door closes. The collider on the door is probably not set up correctly. It's almost there.
Will it blend? That is the question.
That is the question. All right, and then these have colliders on them, don't they? Okay, no, so those are just colliders I'm turning on and off. So am I safe to delete the old model? Probably not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And let's see if this thing works. If it does, maybe I can actually do a little programming to make this screen switch. Okay, so it's looking very decelerator-y. With 50% as many windows as before. You know, it does look like that a bit, doesn't it? You got the two circles on front. Then we sync up and... Whoa. Apparently I'm running out of disk space. Okay, then let's see if it animates okay. Yeah, it's looking fun. Except, like these bars look a little strange across the screen. So I might want to go a little easier on the pattern there. Yeah, no, I'm going to try to empty the trash on stream. We'll see if we crash. Apparently it is empty. Yeah, this is saying I got 13 gigabytes free. Just for good measure, I'm deleting a few old episodes. I've got all these archived on YouTube anyway. Okay, we should be good now. I was expecting that to take longer. So now I can actually set up the screen. We'll just put all this stuff in decelerator. Yeah, I have been keeping them all. I probably shouldn't have been. I did empty after it. Alright, so let's just make a folder for this. Decelerator screen. And, I don't know. I guess I'll just call it decelerator screen control. I'd really like to write this so it's a little more general than that, but do I even need a script for this? Maybe I can just shoehorn that into the main decelerator script. Let me think. So, let's see what the elevator's doing. Granted, the way that I have all this stuff set up isn't exactly the ideal way to do it. Quite possibly, Legmog. How are you doing? Okay, so I got that set up as in coroutine. Can copy most of this stuff. Yeah, let's shoehorn away. Yeah, I made all of the models in the game. Have I shown you the lineup of characters yet, Wormius? Let's see, it's in models. Here we go. That's a good chunk of the humans I've made. I think a few of them are missing from this. Oh, I don't know. I've been using Blender for years, but I don't think it's all that hard to get into. Have you done any 3D modeling before, Wormius? Oh yeah, we gotta do the spherified version. Yeah, I'd say it's not all that bad learning how to do it. Like, you know, it helps looking up some tutorials on YouTube and things like that, but a whole lot of it is just practicing, and when you're not sure how to do something, just I don't know, do a little searching around. Also, if you do wind up getting into it and you have any specific questions of things you're running into, I'd be happy to help you out with it. So you're the one who's been tearing holes in reality. What have you been up to, Lake Mog? Okay, so here's the spherified version. There we go. So this is probably what the characters in the game are going to wind up looking like, you know, in the final release. Figure they're a little too close to the uncanny valley if I don't spherify them. So they should look a little more like this in the final version. And then if they're still a little too close to people, I can do several at once. Just really warp them up. I can't wait to see this. You know, it's very tempting, Corpus. Mostly they spherify because I just figured out how to turn them into spheres, and it's pretty funny. But you know, I was talking about Willy Wonka earlier, so maybe and maybe it's got people turning into spheres has something to do with him. It's the space station that Willy Wonka built. Alright, so let's go ahead and open my C# project. You know, I haven't, Lake Mock. Is it any good? Man, I wish this manufactory made chocolate. All we've got is robots and arsenic. Yeah, I'm seeing it too, City. Probably because I have too many windows stacked on top of each other. Skip to 45 seconds. Okay, so how does that even happen? Yeah, make arsenate and then feed it to the humans. Okay, so... yeah, let's just make something inside of the decelerator to cycle the screens. Let's say set screens. It's probably an I enumerator. And then, mostly gonna copy what my elevator screen is doing. Switch controls. That's not even the right outline. Update displays, that's the one. You know, I'm just gonna write this from scratch. And I think I will make it its own script. I'm really trying to get better about separating things out into single-purpose scripts. Really, it would be better if I had something a little more general. Yeah, I'd like to, City.
Yeah, something's gotta change.
Especially the next time I start a brand new project. I'm going to really go hard on trying to do a lot cleaner code than I've done here. But I think I can start getting into good habits. Decelerator screens. Of course, ideally this would be something that can work with things besides just the one screen I have here. But the way the object's set up where I have two screens rotating at once, it's pretty specific to what I'm doing right here. Just thinking about it, like, it would probably make more sense if I had two different, well, no, but they're rotating different directions. Sorry, I'm not making complete sentences here. There will absolutely be barn emu. So, public render, top screen render, public. And I need a new animation controller. Yeah, barn emus are a planned feature before we go to open alpha. Okay, so now we need a animation controller. And this is going to be pretty simple. Where did I put you, decelerator screen? We get screen cycle, and thought I had a screens idle as well in there. Let's go into Blender and see where that is. Oh, I guess I never made an idle. Okay, Unity, do you recognize my idle animation now? I can't wait, Legmog. What do light bulb people even eat? Like, do they eat electricity, or do they eat like tiny electronics shaped food? Okay. Yeah, it's hard working in this tiny little space. The way I've got this screen set up for streaming doesn't give me as much room to work with in these windows. So I'm gonna say we're doing a trigger, which is cycle screens. When we enter, we're going straight to screens idle, make it the default state. And for this, Okay, so if Bright Spark is overweight in this animation, does that mean that Bright Spark has been spending extra time absorbing Luna energy? I'm just imagining him like with his mouth open to the sky. And then for this, we're going to say, yeah, when we, did I set that as a trigger? I think that is a trigger. So when it cycles screens, it's going to go to this. When it exits, it's going back to screens idle. Should be good. All right, so what other variables do I need in here? I can't wait. Oh yeah, I need an animator. And thinking. All right, so the first thing we're going to do in this, oh, and I should make this public. First thing we're going to do is my animator set trigger. I think I said called this cycle screens. And that should start the animation off. Now I gotta figure out how many seconds to wait. So I believe this is a 24 frame per second animation. So that means that 10 frames. Oh, how do I do this? I'd figured out this math before. I just need a minute to think about this. How many seconds? Right, 12 frames is half a second. So I'm just thinking like, right, I'm just thinking like, what's the equation to convert one frame into a I guess one frame is 1 divided by 24 is that times 10. Okay, that's what we got. So 10 frames is 0.42. Is 0.417. Um, 10 frames. So yield, return, new wait for seconds. Okay, that should work. And this, this thing should also take some textures, I think, that the screens are going to be taking. Let's see if I can just swap out the textures. Go to station parts, decelerator model. Where are your screens? Whoa, that didn't work. Let's see how I'm doing this in the elevator again. I don't know if elevator. I don't know if I'm switching out the material or just the texture on this. Okay, material dot main texture. Yeah, it should just be the texture. Oh yeah, so everyone, we've been asking everyone, is it rude to eat an apple in an elevator? And if so, why? If not, why not? It's a very important question facing today's youth. What material does the elevator screen have? It has screen blank. But I'm just switching out the main texture on that. Alright, well let's do this the same way. So, texture 2D, top texture 2D, low texture. I don't know why I keep closing the elevator when I want to use pieces of that. Is elevator main display? Where are you? Yeah, it's a render. So material dot main texture. I see. So in your mind, it mostly has to do with noise level corpus. All right, and I think I'll include a reference to the blank texture. All right, so next question. If it is okay to eat an apple in an elevator, are you allowed to make eye contact while you're doing it? Okay, texture. What do I call this? Test texture A. Then we're waiting for like... Well, no, actually, that's all I need to do there. So let's go ahead and assign this. Oh, I see. So everyone needs to take their own elevators, regardless of Apple usage. Okay, that should work. Decelerator screen control. Now I got some stuff to put in here. Then let's go back into decelerator control. Oh, let me think about something. Right. I already have decelerator button control here. You know, why not? I can have that, messing with the screens. So, let's, just give you a public screen control. Oh, yes. So it's actually based on City of Corridor's experience, where apparently there was one day where she was eating an apple in an elevator, and then she felt awkward and conflicted, like she'd violated the social contract. So ever since, we've been asking everyone for advice about whether she does or doesn't belong in society after doing that. Well, that's one way to do it, FLML. So what if you see someone in the stairs with you? Do you need to jump out a window then? Oh, all right. And then when you arrive at A, let's just do a test message since I don't have the real thing right now. Start coroutine cycle screens. Hey Radiant Drain, how have you been? Have you seen what I'm working on this stream before, or I don't know, not sure if I've shown it to you yet. No, that would be pretty fun, City. Yeah, but let's see, my screen control dot blank. What if by hiding it in your sleeve, that's when you actually violated the social contract and you hadn't up to that point? No overload for takes 3 arguments. At any rate, let's go in and show off the game that I'm making. Apologies for the flickering, not quite sure why it's doing that right now. Come on, Yeti, you can do it. So this is the video game that I've been making called Creator Crate. I've been working on it for over 3 years now, and it's a game about this robot that's trying to escape from the space station where it was built. Let me just maximize, well, yeah, let me make some tools and then maximize. Get down here. So basically on the stream, I'm mostly working in Blender to make models and art assets for the game. But right now I'm getting a little bit into the programming side of it. Okay, so I just made a bunch of stuff. So how Creator Crate works is you've got this special ability that you can eat objects and turn them into other objects. So I just ate 3 different items you can see over here. And now I can turn all of them into knives if I want to. And you can use these objects to help you get around your environment. So right now I'm swinging off of the ceiling with the knife. Or I can eat the knife, turn it into a fan, and use it to hover. And right now, I'm just working on this vehicle that lets you cycle from the section of the space station that's spinning to the non-rotating center of the station. I'll just zoom in on this. And that's the decelerator right here. So right now the goal is when I press this button and it arrives at a different station, these screens rotate around and display something. And I might mess around a little bit with how long it takes this thing to move between the spin section and the non-rotating center. I don't know, I think at some point I'd like a battle to occur inside of the decelerator. So for that, it's nice having it longer, but if the player's spending a whole lot of time doing this, you know, I don't want them game bored in here. And now I'm into this section that isn't rotating at all, so I can just jump from wall to wall in here. You can see the rest of the space station spinning along down there. Yeah, this is some of that gating I was talking about. So the player has to go through that section over there before they can get to these stores, grab that item, and come back out the entrance into this main part. So we're in decelerator button control. And why do you think this is 3 arguments? That's 2 arguments. Oh, thank you, Radiant Rain. So what have you been up to lately? So there is some kind of syntax error here. Saying cycle screens. I might need to look this up online. Oh, awesome. So what have you been sculpting? Yeah, I should also mention that we've got a Discord. That's a great place to hang out and show off your work. Unity start coroutine from other script. Thought I knew how to do that, but it's giving me an error. In the second script, I see, that's what I thought. Well, actually, it's not what I thought. I had to name. Let's see if this works. Okay, so let's attempt this. See? Is it my screen control dot? What, really? That works? Let's actually put this and arrive at B. Let's see if that works. Should probably set this up so I don't need to cycle through the whole decelerator thing before seeing if the screens work. But I'm gonna hope it works on the first try. So if that actually is how it works, then these screens should update themselves when I arrive at the B dock. Just crossing my fingers. Come on. And nothing. Okay, I need to set that up so I can test it. Wait, you got an idea to pitch, City? Oh, I see, like characters talking in the decelerator when you're in there. So do the characters just kind of ignore the creator crate, or do they stop talking and run away when they see it? All right. Dot begin cycle screens. Okay, yeah, that would be pretty fun. Are they talking to you or each other? So, I actually do have a script for tests. I'll just set that up. Yeah, so I made all of the 3D models. Oh wow, I like Chubby Bright Spark. I made all of the 3D models for the video game in Blender. And he's pretty cool, Legmog. I really like that idea, City. So then, let's see. Got Blender Robot, Manufactory, Models. Yeah, so here's some of the human characters from that I made in Blender for the video game. Not much in the way of textures, but I've got it set up with a toon shader inside of Unity, so it's more of an illustration style. Let's see, and there's one other one who isn't in this lineup. Turn off. I'll pose him and turn this off. This guy's actually one of my favorites so far. Hey Keter, how are you doing?
I've given you sunlight, I've given you rain.
Yeah, I make all of the 3D stuff in Blender. I think that's a great idea, City. So let's see what else. I also made this one in Blender recently. Forget, which 3D modeling program do you use, Radiant? So yeah, this is a virus robot I made recently. And what this does is it jumps from wall to wall, jumps on top of the player, and then injects them with viruses. So this is 151. Yeah, so it's got all kinds of little idle animations for this thing. Yeah, I'm really impressed by your artwork, Radiant. Anyone who isn't already watching it should absolutely check out Radiant Rain's channel. You know, we've actually got quite a few great streamers in here right now. I know, Keeter, you stream Blender, right? And, let's see, Legmog is making a, pilot episode for like a Pixar style animation in Cinema 4D. Really impressive work. And Corpus also streams some awesome programming and game development. Not sure if I missed anyone.
Developers.
I was about to do that.
Developers.
Oh, Wormius. Yeah, Wormius also streams game development in Unity. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought I'd seen a stream of you once, Keeter. Yeah. Well, considering it was probably someone else, I don't know how to answer that. Man, I am so bad with names. Yeah, I haven't heard of Mari before. So it's another program for texturing. So then, let's actually just do this inside of screen control. So then we're going to begin cycle. We need the test texture A. And with any luck, this will actually work. So then let's start it up again and see if this works. Yeah, I've been programming in Unity for I don't know, almost 4 years. Still feel like I'm learning a lot. Like I posted a link to a video series on the Discord a few weeks ago. And it's got some programming concepts that I really want to start using more in what I'm doing here. I don't know, it's a lot like 3D modeling though. You just get better at it the more you do it. So then let's see if this thing actually works. I'm going to say test, and why don't you work? It says it's got a null reference. Why does it have a null reference? At 35. Oh, I never set my animator. Okay, let's try this again. No, what is bolt the asset? And then let's go ahead and say no level generation so we can get in and test this a little sooner. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with C# at this point. You know, I used to use this program called Adventure Game Studio, and I started out with a visual scripting language for that one, but the things I was doing in it wound up just being more complicated trying to do with visual scripting than just coding it. I don't know, like, oh, there we go. That's perfect. So that's all I wanted it to do. Like, those are good for getting started, but they, I don't know, I'm sure they've improved a lot, but I feel like they get in the way as often as they help. So let's have a look at what this looks like. So now the next thing is to figure out a message that this is going to give us when access to the center isn't available. You know, the other day I was in the decelerator. The horror. Yeah, let me maximize so we can see the loading screen better. So I've got like all this stuff on the side of the screen we made a language for the video game that people in it use, so we're going to change all this with letters from their language. But you see when I go through the menu, it scrolls more text along there. Right now it's just saying A, B, C, etc. as like a placeholder. And then I've got different tips that happen when it's loading the game. We also have this ASCII shader I've been putting over art for the loading screen. And I'm thinking I'm going to be using that a whole lot more in the video game, like when the player takes damage or something. Maybe a little bit of ASCII flashes over the screen. Yeah, you'd be surprised how often that happens, Corpus. It's actually a very common problem getting acid in the face. Someone just left it lying around everywhere on this space station. Okay, so let's have a look at this. And just maximize this. It just doesn't feel as pretty as when the elevator does it. I don't know if they need to mess with the texture or what. It might just be how the light's shining on it. It's a little too shiny. Oh, this thing's going all the way up. Keep clicking these by accident. You know, that reminds me that we've been playing Euro Truck Simulator lately, and we were looking at mods for it, and one of the available mods is, one of the mods we were looking at that turns out is just a hoax. Is someone made this YouTube video of a hitchhiker mod for it where you keep picking up hitchhikers and, you know, they all have different little monologues, which unfortunately no one's actually made, but it looks like it would be a lot of fun if they did. Okay, standard shader, maybe I can work with that. Wondering if just a sprite shader would work better for this. It's a little dark. Okay, sprite's diffuse looks about the same. Oh no, it just lights up way too much. Might be happier with an unlit shader. So let's go ahead and do that. Unlit texture. See how that looks in the elevators. Okay, then let's just move the player down here and see if that totally messed up what the elevators look like. Actually didn't. It'll probably be better. Yeah, when they're not getting a face full of acid, they're all getting thrown into saw blades. Yeah, so this flickering in the background, that's one of the next things I need to mess with. Like, you can see it's not happening at all down here. So it either has something to do with the color of the background here, or maybe the placement of the point lights here. So click on this, flip them one more time. I might want a slightly brighter color of text, but that reads pretty well. Oh, I'm absolutely thinking that's gonna be part of the game corpus. So now I gotta figure out what this says. Like... Oh, what's that, Wormius? Like something like access to station center under lockdown or something. I don't know. You too, Wormius. Corpus was just asking that earlier. The vehicle actually isn't based on Suzanne, but that's pretty funny. The emotes for the channel are, though. So let's open up the screen. Assets, station blocks.
Save 3 times. It's a magic number.
Oh, you're right, I should save. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking there will be decelerator music. There's actually music in most of the game. I just usually have it turned off on stream because I'm playing other music in the background. Now that would be fun if the music matched what the decelerator was doing. Okay, so station blocks, we need elevator screens. Oh, let's just go with screen blank. And Do I have like small font? Not actually crazy about working in GIMP. Wish I knew what font I used before. But this could work. Yeah, maybe so. How about the music I play during the outro sequence for the show? Da 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 da.
Mixters deeply miss Fireproof Babies, I'm So Coy featuring Bill Ray drums. Following that, we'll listen
Hey,
to
Hug Squish, how's it going?
by Anchor Mejans, a quite understated love song that features a gorgeous lyric by him.
You know, that's probably true.
That uses Pad for Welcome by Ditto Ditto. And finally, I think this is something that...
Just get something that's really low key. Okay, Terminus Bold isn't bad for this. That's way too fancy. Have I got anything else good? Serif Bold. I mean, that's pretty standard at least, but... I'm thinking Terminus, probably. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, have a great night, Wormius, and thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, that's awesome. So what kind of level were you designing, Ugg Squish? Okay, so this says lockdown and... Let's get that centered. I don't know why these are uneven at the edges. Oh, thank you. We're hard at work on the cannibalism front. Looking really nice, Squish. Yeah, I remember you were showing it to me before, and it looked like a lot of stuff was untextured and things. It's looking really polished. And was that directed at me or Squish Radiant? Yeah, your game's just looking better and better, Squish. thinking maybe I should save the GIMP files. Oh, so, right now I'm using GIMP. The other programs that I use mainly are, I use Blender for 3D modeling and animation, Unity for for the game engine, and, oh, for the lettering, this is GIMP. And I use Inkscape just a little bit. And then we're going to say elevator screens, screen length template. And I'm thinking I want it to look a little pixelated for this. So this is walk down, yeah, just name it lockdown screen. Oh, really? So is Paint.net open source? And is it a website or something that you download? Yeah, GIMP has a little bit of the same issue as Blender, where Aliens designed the interface. Oh, I see. Alright, so the first screen is going to say walk down, travel to center unavailable. No, in as few words as possible. Yeah, I've seen people do some great things with Krita. I haven't been able to get into it much yet. But it looks like it just has some amazing tools. So I don't have a lot of room for words here. The first one is walk down, like, it's all in caps, travel to center unavailable. Like, that's going to be pretty wordy, and I could probably cram it in here, but it'd be a little much. Just trying to be concise. What about, travel to center under lockdown? But still, that's too many words. Port C under lockdown, maybe? I mean, that's a little more concise, but it doesn't really explain what's going to happen if you, maybe just security lockdown. I mean, it doesn't quite... don't know. The issue is I need to communicate that, I need to communicate that this thing can go side to side in the spin section, but you can't travel to the center until you get through the security checkpoint. Maybe I could say center under lockdown. Oh, I could call it the hub. Yeah, that might be as good as I'm gonna get. Hub under lockdown. And the players won't necessarily know what that means, but could at least help tie it to a switch that says unlock the hub. Whoa. And that is why I don't like GIMP. Why do you think you need to change the font size? I'm thinking I'm going to go out of my way to communicate it a little. Not quite sure how right now. Like, it is just terrible how they've set up font manipulation in this. But yeah, I think probably the players do kind of it's kind of a slow reveal thing. You know, I probably show some shots of the outside of the station pretty early, maybe even in the intro sequence. But really experiencing that the thing's a gigantic circle involves traveling around it a lot. Gimp, why are you so broken? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I've just never felt completely comfortable working in GIMP. Just something about the logic of how they arrange all this stuff that's weird. Export as hub underscreen. All right, and finally I can put this all together. Like, it's, I'll probably need, like, a little quest log or something. Yeah. That's pretty funny, City. I'll probably need some kind of little quest log or something where you overhear characters talking about the central hub lockdown, and I don't know, I'm going to need to explain in more than 3 words why the travel to the hub is unavailable at the start. But we need at least something to remind you that that's going on. Then, let's see, did I take out reference to this thing? Yeah, I don't think that's doing anything. I don't really care about this either. So, yeah, that should work. And actually, I should just start this under lockdown. So, let's see, going up here, display low is... Yeah, I don't know if that really communicates it or not. I'd like to shrink this a bit. Walk down screen, export. Did that change size? Yes. Yeah, good enough for now. Then we're going to actually do blank screen for the test. Okay, and what should I say when the hub is no longer under lockdown? Hub access available or something? It doesn't look too bad.
She's alone all by herself. Her body and car's a mess, and nobody cares about things she says. Cut your losses and pack it in. Just take it for a spin.
I bet they do. City would know better than I do, though. She doesn't actually use a tiling window manager, but she's very into interface stuff. She's also very into Linux, though, so, I don't know, I should let her speak for herself. Okay, so then...
She's alone all by herself. Her body and car's a mess, and nobody cares about things she says. Cut your losses and pack it.
Oh, maybe just hub access available or something.
Just lucky you didn't wind up dead.
Access screen. Oh yeah, so are you using a little bit of Tiling City? I don't think your setup included it. And I'm only like 60% sure how to spell available. Okay, I looked it up. No, Gimp, that's supposed to be smaller. Oh, I see. Yeah, I figured you had nothing but scorn for tiling window manager city. Okay, export this. So now I can set it up so that flips over into, from hub access, lockdown, hub lockdown. What does it say? Hub under lockdown to hub access available. Okay, and then we cycle it to hub access screen and available screen. Hub under lockdown and hub access available. And let's just see how this looks. So then the next time I can make some kind of doohickey that that unlocks hub access. Maybe I didn't even need to make this thing animate. You'll probably be nowhere near it when it switches over. But it's pretty cool. And then you go to the hub. Something else I'm not entirely sure about is naming these decelerator ports A, B, and C. I mean, I gotta name them something so that the player can keep track of them. But it's a little cryptic having this button that just says C on it. At any rate, it is nice being able to choose whether we want to go to dock A or dock B from here. Yeah, a long time ago I had, this thing divided up into sections with letters on them. And I've just completely reworked how all that functions since then. And let's see if it actually went to B. This is something I just added, so I'm still testing this. Yeah, it actually went to dock B. So now, need to get back to our player. Yeah, now it says A and C are available. This thing just forks up when I pause the game. I think that might be a glitch that only happens in the editor, but I gotta keep an eye on it. So yeah, I think that's pretty good for today. So let's see if there's any awesome streamers going right now that maybe we can go ahead and raid. And the next time I'm actually going to be making a switch that allows the decelerator to go from being under lockdown to being able to move to the center. And in which we press every single button. Yeah, and in which we meet the people inside the elevator. So who is going at the moment? Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and raid Radiant Rain. It looks like he's started streaming now. He was hanging out in chat just a moment ago. So, right after our patented Blender Robot Manufactory outro sequence, we'll be raiding Radiant Train. Here's that Discord link again. And we'll be back this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to make more switches and levers and just all kinds of things. And thanks for watching, everyone.